Welcome to Find Your Fridays with me, Lorene Hills. How are we going today? I hope you're all doing super duper well. Hi, Alex. Hola. Oh, goodness. It has been one amazingly wonderful, full-on, incredible week. And I'm super happy to be with you all here tonight. I have had a fabulous day. I got to start off my day doing some plumbing. For those of you who don't know, I actually I love doing a bit of DIY, and our taps in our shower had started squeaking throughout the week. And so I got to, and I changed the washers on those. How was your Saturday at the event? Oh, Sunday. Yes, it was amazing. The psychic fair was fantastic. I think, Alex, you must be in a different part of the world. So Sunday last week was the psychic fair, and I had a fabulous time. And as per usual, the later in the afternoon, it was a little bit quiet, but I don't mind that because you know what? I was able to just go around and shop a little bit, and yeah, thank you, Edwina. I love it too. It is so nice. It is so fresh. It's off the back of my neck and it feels good. I can still tie it up a little bit, but I can still have it down a bit, and so my head's no longer feeling tired. Achy tired from having my hair tied up. It's like my scalp is able to relax, and it keeps me in a much happier, brighter mood, which we always want. So yes, Sunday was fabulous, and it gave me a lot of inspo actually for maybe kicking my butt into gear, as the readings have been saying for the last little bit of when you feel inspired, the energies are around you to kick those creations into gear and to be blossoming. Amanda, hi. Thanks for confirmation of house sold. Oh, wow. Was waiting on conditions on sale and all approved and confirmed. 422 today. Yay. That is fantastic. That is brilliant news. Well done. Now everything is really ramping up for you, isn't it? All your prep that you've been doing to go for your big long trip around Australia. So everything is just fallen into place. Oh, Alex, it's totally okay. I had a really busy Saturday anyway. I had a book club meeting in the morning, then I had my hair cut, and then I had a pedicure. So Saturday was a lot about nurturing me, even though it was very busy. But yeah. No, that was yesterday, Melinda. Hi, Melinda. I melted yesterday. That was fun. It was 34 degrees and I was doing a spring clean, which means that I was doing a lot of ladder work. And at one point I was literally up in the ceiling space cleaning this person's skylight. And they chose not to use the air conditioning while I was there. Yay. So here's me, bright red in the cheeks, and she just comes through, would you like a cup of tea, dear? And I'm like, no, I'm okay with my water, thank you. I'm like, oh my God. I can't even imagine trying to drink a cup of tea when I was just so hot. She had a look at the thing and it said it was like 29 degrees and by 11 o'clock in the morning. So I'm not entirely sure of what that is in Fahrenheit. Just one moment. Okay, let's have a look, see what. So 34, it's about 93 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what I was working in yesterday. Fabulous. And it was about the same today when I was out and about in the car today, but today I had the the beautiful moment of being inside where it's cool and I wasn't having to be up on ladders too much. I say too much because I had an absolutely fantastic session this morning, an online session with this absolutely beautiful lady, and it was just so incredible. Oh, interesting question, Alex. I'll come back to that one. And it was so incredible. It actually, the energy was so big and so massive. And partway through the session, we were very deep into it. And all of a sudden, my lights over here went off the wall. And I'm like, I didn't know what was happening because it was just this big, loud noise. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was up on the lid just a little bit today to put my lights back up for you guys. So Amanda, 3 massive hectic weeks coming up, but after that totals in, yes, the crazy for a little while, and then you'll be right back into it, which is awesome. Alex, so back in 2019, I reckon it was, maybe even a little bit before that actually, because that would only give it 5 years. I reckon it may have been before that. Just one moment, I can double check. Albums. It'll be a little while ago. 2017. There we go. Longer than I thought. So 2017 was the last time that I dyed my hair. It was Christmas time, and I had hair halfway down my back at that time, and I was having to re-dye it every 2 weeks because my hair was just growing so fast, and I was, you know, I'm quite sparkly, as you can see, and I was sitting there looking at my beautiful Christmas tree, and I said to my body, okay, body, do you wish to dye your hair anymore? And it very clearly said, no, I don't. And I was like, okay. So after, you know, dyeing my hair for so many years, that was a bit of a shock to have that one. So that would have been around my 39th. So it's been, what, 7 years. So no, it's and I had to go through the next year of growing out, and over the last year I did try to grow it out again, and then I'm just over it. You know, I'd much rather be able to have it out, have my curls just doing their thing, because I love my curls and I know how to work with them, and I'm really enjoying like all of the sparkles coming out. Like they're just getting more and more and more, and I love it. I'm waiting for the day when all of this darker stuff disappears. Then I can just be this. That would be so cool. Like you can have a little bit of the darker cut through there, but I'm waiting for the ratio to go and flip the other way, which will be really cool. So yeah. Thank you, Anita. So no, I will not be dyeing my hair again. I do sometimes, very, very occasionally, I'll put a tiny little bit of like a splash of color just through the ends, maybe for Christmas or something like that. But other than that, nah. I love it just as it is. My daughter, Alex says, Mum, you've got a white forest growing out again. And I've been graying since 27. I'm now almost 50 and I'm vain, so I don't look nice with it. It's all about perspective, but also I get it. There's one of my very dear friends. She tried growing her hair out, but her complexion is, I'm not sure what it is compared to mine, but with her hair, it made it look a lot thinner with it grey, like when she was letting it grow out. And so she's gone back to dyeing her hair again. She's a lot older than me, but yeah, I absolutely love my sparkles. I call them my sparkles because that's what they feel like to me. I'm very lucky. Mine are very more crystal white rather than like a dirty brown. Because some people, when they grow out, it's more of like a dirty blonde, I should say. Like it's just sort of got a funk of brown to it. But fortunately, mine are just very, very white. In fact, like I can get one on my skin and I can't see it, but I can feel it. And it's like, where are you? It's like a spider web. It's like, oh, get off me. So I love it, but there are times when it is a little irritating. So there we go. And thank you. I think we're all beautiful as we are, but in saying that, I remember very distinctly when I was 18, and I came home from uni for one of my uni holidays, and Mum had like an inch or maybe even 2 inches of growth happening, and she was sitting in her rocking chair doing some knitting or something. I don't remember exactly, but she was doing some kind of craft. Pretty sure it was knitting, and she just looked like a real old haggard granny. I remember so distinctly going, oh my God, Mum, you look so old right now, you really should dye your hair. I would be horrified if she ever said, like, if I ever said that to her now, but I'm just like, no. I call them my wisdom hairs. You must be extremely wise. Well, I've only got 2 of my wisdom teeth left, so I have to make up for it somewhere, you know. Yes, wisdom highlights. I love my wisdom highlights. They're great sparkles. Alex, hey, I would love to save money and spending 3.5 hours sitting still, but yeah, no, I can't shop my clients anymore at sparkles, and you get clients looking up at you for the wrong reasons. Okay. I'm not sure what you do for a job, Alex, but I'm assuming that you mean when you get your hair done. I just used to use box dye. It was a shocker. But when having to re-dye every 2 weeks, it was way too expensive for me to do that at a hair salon. So, yeah. Juanita, I'm still accepting all my freckles. I love your freckles, darling. At 35, my daughter gives me the confidence. Yes. Freckles, your freckles are so gorgeous, though. I love them. I absolutely love them. They are so cute. So, yes. It's funny, the things we say as kids that we would never say again if we sort of realize the implications, because my mum, she religiously dyes her hair now, and it's like, oh gosh, what did I do? 18 years old. Oh man, I must have made Mum feel so terrible. And I mean, my mum would have been around my age now when I said that. Poor Mum. I think that's right. Am I mathing correct today? Let me see. No. My mum would have been 10 years younger than I am now. Yes. Oopsie. Sorry, Mum. Amanda says, I still have all my wisdom teeth, but doesn't help with her smarts, though. I don't know. I have to say, though, this bloody full moon that we've had, oh, boy, that didn't help with my smarts this week either. So that was last Saturday. And it was so funny because even on the Thursday, before, so we were like in that shadow period of the full moon, and I was at craft class that night, and there were so many of us that made mistakes, and we really don't make mistakes often at craft class. And it was a very, easy project that we were doing, and just so many of us made silly mistakes, and somebody magically goes, I wonder if it's a full moon or something. And I was like, this is a group of women that don't normally talk woo-woo. And I was just like sitting back going, you might be right there. So I had to look and, oh yeah, we're in shadow period. And I certainly know that on over the weekend, definitely by the time I got to the end of Friday, it was just not Friday, Sunday. Monday. By the end of Monday, I was absolutely zonked. So still in the shadow period, but on the other end of the full moon, and I was just gone. I think I was in bed by like 8 o'clock. I was just so tired. So yes, that lovely full moon was playing funny buggers this week. So I love it. And I love how we're able to be aware of all of those sorts of things. So things that I bought. I bought a lovely pair of earrings, which I didn't put on today, but that's okay. I bought this lovely piece. So it's another little pendulum. I've found it works a little bit easier when I hold it further away, so above the little knob thingy. But there we go. So we've got a wooden pendulum, which is pretty cool. And then I also purchased something called Lava Kite, which is from, where did she say? It's like up Norway, sort of up that way. And so the intentions with this particular stone is for grounding and mindfulness during times of stress, to shield and protect against negative energies, increase patience, enhance ability to focus, cleanse negative energies, increase intuition, enhance meditation, and balance emotions. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see that particularly. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Isn't it so pretty? So that's another little cute piece that I got on Sunday. So we'll have to wait and see if that one comes out to play tonight. And not that I bought this on the weekend, but I've actually had this for quite some time, and I only saw it just the other day, and I went, I totally forgot you were in here. And it's actually a pendulum chakra set. How cool is that? So we've got all the chakras there represented by the little balls, and then you take this little casing out. Got a funny little unboxing today. How cool is that? So there's your chain with the little bead on the top, which is rose quartz on the top. And then you open the little latch like that. Yeah, open the little lid. And then let's chuck some jade and jasper in there. And there we go. And that then becomes your little pendulum. How cool is that? And of course, if you wanted to, because it's actually got a little clip. Let's see, can you see that? Yep. So there's the little clip that sits up here like a little necklace clip. And so if you really wanted to, you could actually take that off, like this part of the chain off, and have it as a necklace if you wish to have a necklace. So yeah, that's a pretty cool little one. So I thought I'd show you guys that one, it's just a really nice way to have a bunch of different pendulums without having a bunch of different pendulums. So there we go. There's some fun things to share with you guys. I thought I'd show you guys all those things. I got some really cute earrings too, and they are for the base chakra. And I'm feeling a bit of a lean back that way for a little bit. So let's see who wishes to come and play for the weekly reading. Oh, okay. I do have to give the pendulum with the little cage a bit of a clean. That's the only downside about that one. It's been sitting out for a little while. It's a bit dusty. But that's okay. All right, so let's have a look at this reading. Let's do a little bit of a shuffle. Today is the 22nd, so from the 23rd to the 29th, we're going to do the reading for the collective. I'm curious, while we're here and while these cards are waiting to come out, how we can best work with these energies. This is basically the last week of November. Can you even? Who's started their Christmas shopping? I have started. Thanks to my New Zealand trip. But did I finish it yet? No, I have not. Oh dear. But what are people going to be doing for Christmas? What are people doing this weekend if you can't be bothered thinking about Christmas just yet? You did the shopping 3 months ago. Oh, you're very organized, Alex. Well done. Whee! Sometimes I think I could do that, and then I forget, that I've gotten things. And I go, oh, whoops. Started and almost finished it, Melinda. Good work. See, we've got some really very organized people here. The home fragrance was on sale, so I might as well. I love it. Hi, Catherine. Oh, Amanda, you'll be in Kangaroo Island for the Christmas period. Well, that's just pretty cool because I've never been to Kangaroo Island. The people that own the company that I work for, they have properties over in Kangaroo Island. They have Airbnbs over there. All right. Yep. Can tell we're coming up to a new moon. So obviously this week is going to be a little bit more chill because we are in that space of coming up to the new moon, not the full moon. We're past the full moon. But with this, you can definitely tell by this reading that things are going to, you're going to be going inward a little bit this week. So the first card that we've got is Pearl, which is connect to the divine. So when we're talking about the divine, you can think about creator, the universe, source, whatever you like, but it's also talking about the divine within. And the divine within you. So you are your own divine. So this is about connecting to your higher source. It's about doing some meditation. It's about doing breath work. It's about doing connection. It's about like really deeply listening to what your body truly desires. And that could be an early night. It could be going and catching up with friends. It could be sitting around having a PJ day. It could be as simple as your body says, hey, I need more water. So that is something that your body is going to be ramping up on for this week to come. Okay, connecting to your inner self, your divine. And while you're there, we have burgundy, which is awaken your passion. Now, of course, burgundy, we know, is very much base chakra colors. And so your base chakra colors, that is really where all of your divine intuition is brewing, for want of a better word. We have so much creative energy in our pelvic area, in our base chakra areas, that, like, for women, we literally create miracles in that area. And why can't so many other things and so many other creations, the ideas, come from that same place? Why would it be only designed for one thing? Our bodies are freaking amazing, magical things, creations. To have so much power and potency stored and only have it be used for one purpose seems absolutely bonkers to me. So in that case, tap into your divine feminine, tap into your creativity in those quieter moments when you're connecting to your divine, and see what is it that you're actually truly after. What is it that you're wishing to create? You might be starting now to get ideas about things that you'd like to do or create or produce or something for the new year. That's not surprising if it comes up now. We've moved into, I think we might be moved into a fire sign. So that would not surprise me at all. Getting a little bit of fire in your belly. And not from the chili you had last night. Although I do love a good chili, just saying. The next card that we've got is Sapphire, which is regenerate your body. So we've got tapping in to your intuition. We've got just having a wee listen about your passions and your ideas and your desires. And now we're being asked to regenerate your body. So with regenerating your body, that can show up in all sorts of different ways. We've already mentioned a few, but how about regenerating your body with a lovely walk? Regenerating your body with a beautiful massage, regenerating your body with some some food that is like super nourishing to your body. What about regenerating your body with some beautiful one-on-one time with someone that you adore? You know, it doesn't have to be a love, like you're a relationship person. It can be just a very dear friend. And you have those really beautiful, deep, meaningful conversations over a cup of tea. And it's like, yes, let's do that. That's all very restorative. You could even be booking in a healing session. You could be getting a pedicure or whatever you want. Taking yourself off to the movies, just to give yourself a moment to unwind and pause and chill and breathe. Go off to a breathing session. Go down to the beach if you can't. If that's pretty almost free, depending on how close to the beach you are. And even if you cannot leave your home, even if you can't leave your bedroom, being able to look outside and taking a moment, just turn off all the technology except the stuff that's keeping you alive. And just chill. Just chill. Spend some moment cloud gazing. That is all beautifully regenerative. One of the things that I love to do for regenerating my body is actually rainbow gazing. So with the rainbows that is from my crystals, when they come through in the early morning, I love opening up the curtains, opening up the blind, the roller shutter, and just my whole bedroom gets scattered with rainbows, and I just love it. And if I manage to catch the kitchen at just the right time, I can get about 10 minutes worth of rainbows in the kitchen too. We've got a really long veranda and the kitchen is way back. So it's like the sun's got to be just at the right height and have no cloud cover. And we don't get it in winter at all. We only get it through summer. So because the sun's moves, it sort of sits behind the shed in the winter time and it moves over for the summertime where it comes up. So that's why we don't get it in the winter. Yes, Amanda, every day is a PJ day for you at the moment. I love it for you. I love that. Now, as we're heading towards the end of the week, we might be starting to feel the pressures. We might be starting to feel the pressures, or the people around you, especially if you've got little ones. They might be starting to act up a lot at the moment. They might be starting to get a bit ratty. And that is very much a sign of you have to shift gears. You have to lighten up, not get overly cranky back. And that goes the same with the traffic. Don't get overly cranky with the traffic either. Just take a big deep breath and look at how can you shift this energy. What can you do? So I was literally having this conversation with a very dear friend of mine who I used to work with, who's got a little one and not diagnosed yet, but quite likely ADHD. And I said, get him out in nature. Get him out into the beach or to the forests, or because she lives in Adelaide here, so the Morialta Falls are fantastic because it's not that hard a walk, but it's like there's loads of spots that you can stop and have a little picnic or snacks, and you can go animal watching, like you can look for the koalas and things like that. You get out to the falls, you can have a little look at the falls, and then there's just so much you can do. And like if you want to do the steps, you can go up to the where they've got a big sound dome, like it's natural auditorium, and it's beautiful, and the views up there are absolutely stunning. So yeah, don't be surprised if you're feeling this too. And what it is around this time of year right through till Christmas, there's a real ramping up of energy in the general community. And that ramping up of energy is everybody's going, oh my God, we have to get ahead on all of these projects before Christmas, before everything shuts down for 2 to 3 weeks. So we have to really punch these things through. We have to go. And so you'll notice even the traffic at the moment is like an hour earlier is getting all jammed up. So you find people are just getting more frustrated. So this is a note from our teams to say, just breathe, lighten up, let it go. You'll get there when you get there. It'll be okay. Everything will work out just fine. And just don't be surprised if you find that the people around you, the little ones, the big ones, all the ones are just like going towards the end of the week, because of course towards the end of the week is the end of November, which means we're even closer to December, which means everybody's going to go absolutely lulu. The last card that we've got for the week to come is red, and it says free yourself from pain. And this card is coming up as a gentle reminder that you're having a beautiful moment coming up. So this is like a preparation card. This is telling you that there's a moment with the new moon that you can do some release work. So it's like saying, hey, just get yourself ready. There'll be some stuff coming up. Maybe you'll have some heart stuff coming up, some moments of sort of feeling a little bit out of sorts. And write it down so that on the Sunday, the 1st of December, which is the new moon, you can release that stuff. You can, release it by burning it safely, because we are now in fire ban season in South Australia. So burn it very carefully and very small. Or you can, I think there's a bunch of different ways. You can even rip it up. You can there's all sorts of things. You can bury it. But yeah, this is going to be a beautiful time of release. I love it when people get like that flame paper. I don't know what it's called, but it's like you can write a little thing on it, and then you hold it over a candle, and it just goes like it's magic, like Harry Potter. So if you got some of that stuff, I don't know what it's called. I just called it flame paper. I don't know what it is, but it's really cool. And that's one way that you can do like a neat little releasing. Or you don't have to use flames at all. You can just hold your heart and look at the moon, or look at the dark sky, actually, in this case, and release it out. Do some expanding out, do some connecting with Mother Earth and Father Sky, and then speak to your heart. And just say whatever comes to your heart as a release phrase. Because I believe that we all know what we need to say. Sometimes we need a little bit of guidance, but at the end of the day, I believe that we all do know in our souls what things we have to say to be able to release it beautifully, and that connects with us. Whether you bring in your goddess of choice to assist you, whether you talk about Creator or the universe or Mother Earth or Father Sky or God or Buddha or whatever it is that you feel, maybe even just your spirit team or your Invisi team, as Melinda likes to call them, whoever or however works for you. There's not really any excuse to not do release work. The only thing that holds you back from doing release work is, guess what? You. And quite often it is our perception of, oh my God, what will I be if I don't have that? What will I have to talk about? What will I have as my connection points to other people if I don't have that in my world? What would you be? That's a jolly good question. And it's a conversation that I have often with my clients, is if you didn't have that, what would it be? And perhaps you just got to get really comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because when we're comfortable, we don't grow. Not at all. Or rather, I was just thinking about, when pregnancy happens, it's like, that's a really graphic way of thinking about becoming uncomfortable. But it's like, if you just stay pregnant forever because you're too scared to go through the process of birth. Actually, that's a really good metaphor. Your baby that you have helped create with your body, your blood, your essence, and the little sprinkling of help from someone else, that baby is not going to be able to thrive. So for every time that you remain comfortable because you're too scared to be uncomfortable, you're potentially preventing someone else or many someone else's from being able to grow and thrive. Because every single step that we make is helping someone or many people in the collective to make that step as well, in their own way, but we're creating more of a pathway. Every step we make helps to grow, widen, strengthen the pathway to the next level of connectiveness, of consciousness. In this case, it's the fifth dimension that we're all aiming towards at the moment and beyond. The fifth dimension is not the end. Not at all. We've come, if you really tap into the galacticness of who we are, I'm getting a sense that we are way beyond, our origins are way beyond the 12th dimension. But that's all we know about, really, at the moment. Because anything beyond that is too hard for our little brains to comprehend. Even the fifth dimension has people going, oh my, I can't even imagine that. It's like, imagine living with so much openness and honesty where people can literally read each other's thoughts. Like, that's wow. Because telepathy is a thing. And as we move through the greater and greater levels of consciousness, those other dimensions, we will also gain more and more skills like telepathy. And then other things like spoken language will become less, because this is much faster. Energy is so fast. Talking is slow. And that's why when you get people who do a lot of mediumship work, you'll find their brains are actually working very, very fast, because the spirit world talks very, very fast. And they have to slow things down to be able to communicate with us. So people who do mediumship all the time, they will be able to communicate with the spirit world really, really quickly and easily, because they're very practiced at it. They get really quick. And that's part of something that I've noticed when I'm doing these shows with you guys, is that your teams coming in and out is very easy for me now. Whereas back 3 years ago, it was like, okay. And next, maybe. Am I ready for you just yet? So practice. I'm looking forward to us moving, all of us, the whole planet, moving into the fifth dimension. Will I see it in my lifetime? Maybe. I would like to think that we do. But the only way we're going to get there quickly is to dream. Dream of it. But also make those steps and free yourself from pain, free yourself from the 3D, the 3D-ness of your life. Doing a lot of forgiveness work will help hugely for that. Yeah. So that's our reading for the week to come. How interesting. Awesome. Cool. Let me just take a photo of all of those. Cool. So that during the week I can refer back to it and go, oh yeah, that's what I said about that. You're welcome, Amanda. Alrighty, Edwina, are you still floating around, my dear? We've got a couple of people who have popped through donations already, because you guys are superstars in my world. So we've got Edwina, and then Christine, and then Alex. Yay, thank you, Alex. Hi, Dilling. So what would your team like me to tap into? What would you like me to ask your team about today? You're welcome, Christine. There's a lot of energy popping up, you know? Just a lot of energy stuff. 6:20 a.m. Yes, I was up at 6:20 this morning. I had sort of hoped to have a sleep in, and then I realized I couldn't. I had too many things to do before I had my session, so. I should get to have a sleep in tomorrow morning, though. That will be good. Okay. General reading for Edwina. Okay, team. What would you like to play with today? Okay. It's been a while since these ones have come out to play. One of the most beautiful things that happened that was a common theme over the psychic fair on Sunday was the amount of newbies that were coming through, and I got to teach them some really cool tools, and I went, wow. And like, these were women mostly, and there was even one with the lady and her son. And it was so funny because it was the lady and her son's friend, and I was teaching them some tools, and the son's friend was like, nah. It's like, I'm too big and tough, I'm gonna go off and play with my footy. And I was just like, oh my god. You're so funny. Oh, we're shaking things up. Moving on up, moving on now. Mm-hmm. So funny. There was an episode back in October that for some weird reason didn't close off properly, or something funky happened with that particular episode. And I found out today it was because somebody is laying claim to either my starting music or my ending music. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, are you serious? Because I haven't played around with my starting music or ending music too much. And you guys are now claiming, like, and I don't go and rip music off of anywhere. It's like, this is all stuff that has come through my editing program that I pay for. And I'm like, wow, this is very interesting. So Melinda, that was that episode that you were asking me about. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. So the first card that we've got for you, my dear, this is from the Celtic Spirit Oracle. Okay. So we haven't had these ones out for a little while, but that's the ones that decided to come and play. They're quite interesting. Yeah, it's very strange. I wonder what was about that particular meditation. I wonder. Anywho, I'll have to go back and review that one again and edit out that meditation and put it up separately so that you can then do it. All right. So, Edwina, Master of the Hunt, which is about speed, masculinity, and flow. And this particular card is asking you, where have you stepped out of flow? Where are you not following what you truly desire? Where are you not allowing your natural speed to dictate your life? And with being out of flow, it means that you're probably stepping more into your masculine side than sitting in your feminine side. So it's like, start asking those questions and being a little bit more intentional with bringing in those softer, more feminine moments into your life, those nurturing things. So this is an interesting one for you to start off with. Hey. The next card that you've got, he's a cute little fella. He's the Oak Guardian. And this is about threshold answers and open mind. So what I'm getting with this card for you, Miss Edwina, is that you are right on that cusp. You've done so much work. You've done so many awesome, wonderful things. You're a little bit out of flow at the moment. And if you get yourself back into flow, what will happen is this door will open. And this, because you're right on that edge of like just everything just blossoming and opening up for you. But it's like there's this moment where you've kind of pulled back a little bit from leaning in, and it's like you're almost there. You're like this close. And it's like you just got to get a little bit more courage, just a little bit more, and then just open it up, and then you'll be back in your flow. You'll be back in your feminine and your masculine balance, and then you'll be sweet as. And this will be really, really beautiful and open. Just go. Interesting. I do love it when the cards turn around and give us the pathway of how to do that. So they've sort of said to you, hey, this is what you're not doing. This is what you're missing out on. Now we're going to show you how you can get back to there, how you can move forward to be able to get that door nice and wide open. Your cards are awesome. Your team is fantastic. So what you've got here is the Maiden, and she's talking about innocence, love, and past. So what they're asking for you to do, Miss Edwina, is to reflect on how you were when you were younger, and to look at those moments before children, before becoming a wife, before adult responsibilities bubbled into your world, and have a look at what sort of things did you used to do for fun? What sorts of things used to make you giggle and laugh? What sort of things used to fill up your cup even before you knew what that meant? What sort of things made you feel a cheeky little smile like that? And that is what she's asking for. That is what your team is reminding you to do. It's asking you to have a look. What is it? Is it the flowers of your childhood? Is it playing in nature? Is it getting dressed up? Is it what is it for you that really makes you sort of go that playful energy, that will bring you back into your flow, open up the doors, and let's see what else we've got. Okay, so this next one is actually upside down, which tells me that this is another one of the ways that you're sort of preventing yourself slightly from having those doors open and from being in your flow. So they're giving you another clue here as to why things are a little bit out of whack. Not completely, Not completely, because like I said, you're right on the cusp there. It's almost like you're just kind of, you're coming around that corner, but you've like just kind of, you can't see the door. And because you can't see the door, you're kind of going, it's never going to be there. It's kind of like the little kids playing peekaboo. Like, and if I can't see you, you can't see it. It's a little bit like that kind of energy. And the card that we've got here is actually heart center. Okay. So the heart center, which is about connection, love, and receiving. So as we're looking, let me see if I can get a really good view of that card for you. You get to see my raggedy nails. All right. So as you're looking at that card, and it's the heart center card, remembering it was upside down, which tells me that you're blocking it slightly. So it's a card to tell you how you can, with more ease, it's like it's actually pinpointing some areas for you to look at. So one of them is about, being in that sort of innocence, that feminine wonderment, that sort of, the cheekiness of the maiden. But this one is very much looking at, what have you locked away in your heart? What beautiful things have you locked away in your heart? What beautiful elements of yourself have you locked away that, if you allowed them to be unlocked, would open your world? At the bottom, it says connection, love, and receiving. So what aspects of yourself are you not receiving right now? Are you preventing yourself from receiving? Because wherever we're not receiving it from other places, it's a direct reflection of where we're not receiving from ourselves. And I've seen this time and time again in my life and my friends' lives, where I've seen them, and myself even, go through these moments where we just go, oh my God, like, I just wish my partner would do X, Y, and Z. But when you really look at the honesty of that, you go, well, actually, am I doing that for myself? Am I giving myself the honor? Am I giving myself the credit that's due? Am I giving myself the love that I require? Am I making time and space for me? Because if I'm not doing that, then how am my partner supposed to know how to do that? And I know that's tough for you, love, because you are working and you've got the little ones and you're doing all the things. So it's about finding those little snippets of time where you can do that. And it might be those moments where you're sitting in the car and you're just taking those few breaths and you're bringing that Mother Earth energy up through your body, and then you're bringing that Father Sky energy down. I remember seeing one time, or reading about, I can't remember which one it was, but it was about a story about a dad who used to have a very intense job. And before he came inside, he would take a few minutes just to sit in the car, in the driveway, and just chill and relax and unwind. And so that when he walks into the house, he was able to be calm and present and loving for his family. And I thought, well, that's fantastic. And I thought, I've done that many times myself, where I've had just a big day and I've driven home and I've just gone, before I step into my evening, before I step into the house stuff, I'm just going to take a moment and I'm just going to sit here. And it might be that I sit there and close my eyes and just breathe. or it might be that I sit there and watch a little bit of YouTube or something, just to unwind and defrag a little, so that I can be more present and it's not about me. And as such, it's like I can be more present with everybody else, whether that be in my current case, the dog and Alex and myself and my work and all that sort of stuff. It's like I don't have kids, but I do still have a lot going on. So see what's in your heart, love. Bring that out. See what you've locked away. You might require to do a little bit of meditation and journal work around that. Oh dear. The next card that we've got for you, and I wonder, he's a bit cheeky, so I think we might need to read this one just to double check. So what we've got here is the Green Fairy. And this is Mischief, Freedom, and Reckless, which seems like quite an interesting card to have at the end. So, ever heard of the Green Fairy? Something to do with absinthe and a little mischief. Now, this little fairy is not condoning drinking absinthe, but she does recommend jumping out of your comfort zone and being a little mischievous. Have you become a bit stuck or a bit too serious? When was the last time you just let your hair down and had a laugh? A giggle or a play like a child day? A while? Yep, that's what she thought. The Green Fairy is coming to you to pull at your hair, tickle at your ears, trip you over, all in an effort to break you out of your confined rut and maybe have a laugh at yourself. You may have a valid reason for your situation and need to be serious, but you need to be reminded you are here to have fun and enjoy life also. While you are getting everything done that needs to be done, you are missing out on some really fun stuff. Do you even know you are stressed? Who are you now compared to who you were when you were young and carefree? Does that make sense? So if you look at where you are now, does it resonate for maybe someone that you looked up to as a little one? Maybe it was your parents or your grandparents. Are there aspects of yourself that you would like to regenerate? What can you do to lessen your load, or how can you take some time out to do the things that you used to enjoy that made you laugh and relax? Maybe just call on the Green Fairy to show you. So we come back to that beautiful maiden energy, because that was the same thing. So that one's a little bit more specific, but if you find yourself doing silly, dumb things and going, how on earth did that happen? This could quite honestly be the little Green Fairy popping up to remind you to have a bit of fun and to laugh at yourself. Oh dear, that is so funny. I do love those cards. The great thing about those cards is that I remember when I first got them, and they'd been calling to me all day. I was at a psychic fair, and I was in a group of, like, we were sort of in a group where all of us were in a block, but our backs were all to each other. And it was really fun having it set up that way. But these cards had been calling to me all day. And the lady had only brought 2 decks with her, and she'd sold one, and she'd only just put out the second one when I came up, and I said, that's the deck that I would like to have today. And she goes, oh, that's so funny. I've gone for like more than 6 months and not sold a single one of these, and today I've sold 2. I'm like, yep. And as soon as I had them, I was just like, yes, these I can play with. So the other thing that your team is asking you to do, dear, is to work on your forgiveness. And this is forgiveness of self. Forgiveness of self for not being the maiden in your world, for not being fun and frivolous enough as far as the green fairy is concerned. It's about allowing yourself the space to go, okay, I've done what I needed to do, and now we can have some fun. What if we can have fun while we're doing what we need to do? How much better would that be? That is what that is about. It's not about beating yourself up. It's about allowing yourself the space to go, okay. So that's where Ho'oponopono is really beautiful, because it's like, even if it is in amongst something else, even if it's a conflict with someone, it's like, okay, so whatever it is in me that has brought that up in you, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. And even to yourself, you can say, whatever it is that I did that created that, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. Ho'oponopono is beautiful. So gentle, yet very potent. So I would recommend to you, for the next 2 weeks, I'm being told, every morning, every night, and throughout the day, to tell yourself that you love you. And you can do that in a multitude of ways. You can be cutting up veggies for the dinner and just look at your hands as you're using the knife and all that sort of stuff and going, wow, I love you. I love how your hands work. They are so amazing. Because without hands, there's so many things you couldn't do. Like, just having that intense level of gratitude for you is one of the ways that you can really nourish and nurture yourself. Having the childlike wonderment about the things that you can do as an adult, it's like, oh my God, like imagine, I'm listening to a book series at the moment where it's there's an earth that is full of vampires and there's an earth that's full of humans. And there's a human that has traveled to the vampire world, and then at one point she's managed to pull the vampire to her world and to the human world. And so this vampire has suddenly been thrown into a world where there's things like telephones and televisions and the internet and all these things that is just like, whoa, how is that even possible? But looking at the world and at people and yourself through that lens of, imagine if I was experiencing this for the very first time. Wow. Imagine you've only just jumped into this already well-experienced body and you're seeing how it works. And you're like, whoa, that's really amazing. Like, I can hear when my kids are doing crazy things down the other end of the house and they think that I can't hear them. Like, wow, that's incredible. That is what's going to help you regain this and help bring back that balance. So for the next 14 days, you are to tell yourself you love you, and that you and how you do that throughout the day is by admiring the parts and pieces of you, your gifts, talents, and abilities, even in the most mundane stuff. Like when you wipe a table and it's bloody perfect, and you go, wow, that looks great. So proud of you. I love you. Thank you. Having pride in what you do. It's like even those moments when you look at your kids and you go, wow, I helped create you. I made a miracle in my body and I made you. Like, whoa, that's crazy. And so freaking cool. So I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. And I hope that reading helps. So thank you, Edwina, for your very generous donation. I absolutely adore you. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Find You Fridays thanks you. Crafting Possibilities thanks you. And without very kind donations like yourself, from people like yourself, the show couldn't keep running, literally. So I am so grateful for you. Thank you. It was beautiful. That's because you was a beautiful lady. And you have a lot to offer. That's the big thing. You have so much to offer the world and you, and there's a lot of healing that you're doing in your everyday life that I don't think you even comprehend how much you're actually doing just by thriving in your life and living your life. Like, you're just being bloody amazing. Mm-hmm. Alex, in response to the sitting in the car thing, I do that, especially after long drives, etc. It helps me reset if I had a bad day, etc. And when I'm ready to head into the house to my daughter. Yeah, absolutely. So, just, yeah. Sometimes it's required. Not necessarily all the time. I find that if I'm really stressed a lot, and upon reflection, if I am really, in the past, when I've been in more toxic relationships, or where narcissism is sort of playing a little bit of a hand in there, my car time was a lot more. To the point where, certain partners would be like coming out to the car after an hour going, are you okay out there? So they did care a little bit. It's like, yeah, I'm fine. Just chilling. Forgot to come inside, I guess. But I think they came out to say, are you okay, because I'm hungry? They just wanted food. Righty-ho. So Christine she's got a couple of questions, but Christine, way back here, you told me a story, Christine, but you didn't actually ask me a question. So your story was, I really don't want to go to Thanksgiving 28th, rather go on 29th for my dad's birthday, 30th. So exhausted, my dad is favouring my brother instead of me giving him money. I have been there 2 times. So, can you please tell me, what is your actual question? You don't have a question there. because that would help a lot, Christine. Will I be okay on 29th birthday? Oh, Alex. She caught me a few times because she looked out the balcony and saw my lights. She wasn't too happy. That's okay. It's a learning moment for her too, to say, you know what? Sometimes mummy just needs to have some time to reset before coming inside. Then I can be an awesome mummy for you. Okay. So yes, that's definitely it is a learning moment, because you'll then be teaching Alex. You'll then be teaching your daughter about self-care, and these little moments like that really will help her much later on down the track, and it may even help her through her teenage years. I'm not sure how old your daughter is, but if she can have those moments of going, actually, it's okay for me to just carve out a little bit of time for myself. That's actually okay. It's all right to have a little bit of breathing room from other people. Huh, who knew? It's not called time out, it's called me time. I'm not in trouble. See, and I think that's the issue, is that for most of us who've grown up in the years of the naughty corner or being sent to your room or anything like that, the quiet time that we have received in those moments has been as a result of being in trouble. So we kind of might get things a little bit screwy in our heads and go, the only way that I can get some me time, some quiet time, is if I actually get myself in trouble. If I push myself too far, if I start heading towards burnout and things like that. And when we take those, this is just coming to me now. So what if we change that paradigm and make it okay for people to go, actually, you know what, I'm just real peopled out right now. And I wish to have a day for myself, or I wish to have the next 5 minutes for myself. I remember there was when I was a nanny, and I was a nanny for 3 children, and those 3 kids, they were 9, 7, and 4, and 2 of them were on the spectrum. One was autistic and the other one had Asperger's, and the one in the middle had learned behaviors from both, because he was like, I can see that my brother and my sister are getting way more attention than me, because he was very smart. And he was just like, if I start playing up like they do, then I'll get more attention too. So he was, you could say, typical, middle child syndrome, but no, it was just, he was very, very smart, and he just loved hanging out. He really, really enjoyed interacting and talking and being creative and being somebody who was looked up to and asked questions. He was very smart and very intuitive. And those 3 kids, do you think I could go to the toilet by myself for 2 minutes? Initially, no, I couldn't. I had to teach them that they were totally okay to keep playing or keep doing whatever they were doing. They didn't have to be right with me every single moment of the day. It's okay to allow the caring person, the caretaker, the parent, whatever, that moment in the loo by themselves. It's okay. You don't have to watch what they're doing. She's 14, but she's slowly Slowly moving away. I feel sad, but I'm learning to accept her growing. Yeah. It's a tricky age for mums and for daughters, especially if you've got a good relationship with her. Oh, the pushing of the boundaries, the envelope, oh, I still remember being 14. Do you know the age I hated the most, though? It was being 12. Being 12 sucked because I was so much more mature than my school friends, because my family had been through a hell of a lot more than what they had. I was still, because I wasn't technically a teenager yet, I couldn't be regarded as a teenager. So I was still classed as a 12-year-old, which was one of the kids. So it was like, even at family events and stuff, I wasn't allowed to be with the big kids. I always had to be with the little baby kids. Oh, it used to drive me nuts. And I was just like, man, I just want to be with like my other cousins and things like that, and I wasn't allowed, and then they all moved away, and so then I became the big kid, and then the grown up. I was still in that really weird in between. I hated it, absolutely hated it. Alex says, yes, you need time out. Shut off your mobile. Just go and be on your own. Go for dinner or a movie, or just get home and have a nap. Yeah. Naps are now like a luxury, aren't they? Oh, I did that. I felt alone, but I appreciate time on my own, to be honest. I had moments of reflection on some past and understand why that happened. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alrighty, Christine. All right. So let me have a look. So let us show this beautiful lava kite. So show us a yes, please. Now show us a no. Beautiful, thank you. Back to neutral, please. Okay. So truth, will Christine be okay going there on the 29th? I'm getting with that one, Christine, that it's a yes, but because you're already feeling a little bit funky about it, that energy is going to follow you. So if you are truly doing what you desire to do, truth, what will create more for you? What's going to create more for you? What's going to create, like, these are funny questions to ask, because, all right, let's have a look. Maybe I'll change it for the other one. It's my new. Okay. So this is the new rose quartz that we've got. And show me the no. Cool. Thank you. Okay, so truth. What will it create if Christine goes to her dad's on the 29th? That's a yes. Truth, what will it create for Christine's brother if Christine goes to the gathering on the 29th? Cool. So that's a no. Truth, what will it create for Christine's dad if she goes to the gathering on the 29th? And that's yes. So it's going to create more for you. It's going to create more for your dad if you go. It's not necessarily going to create more for your brother. Now, why that is a very good question. Is it because your presence is going to make it harder for him to manipulate your dad? Possibly. Is it going to be because you'll be able to sort of be there to hold him to account? Now, family situations are tricky. But one of the things that I can tell you and that I saw in practice when I was away in New Zealand was the morning, very early morning of the 29th, while your brother is still asleep, you can go to him and make sure you do the expanding out tool first. Make sure you're in your highest place, in your highest space, and for your highest good, and the highest good for everyone concerned. And you can have a little bit of a conversation with him. And you can talk to him. And you can tell him, just how crappy he's been as a brother. And you can also say to him, look, our dad might not be around for too many more of these gatherings. Whether he's around for another 10 years or not is irrelevant. But there's a lot less that he's going to be around for now than what he's ever been. Right? So you can have a spiritual conversation with your brother while it's very early in the morning. Say, let's say 4:30 in the morning. And you can have that conversation to say, look, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. If you can't be there with an open heart and for the enjoyment of being together as family, then don't be there. Or don't be there for long. Make an appearance and then go. So just some hints and tips for how you can handle that a slightly different way. Now, how that will show up in real life could be any number of things. But one of the things that I have seen happen is that somebody who would normally be very, very snarky and have plenty of negative things to say, on a very special day, said nothing other than they were proud. And I'm like, well done. Okay, so it's totally possible. You have the skills, you have the tools, you have the awareness to be able to do these things. I know you do, because we've done sessions and you do these meditations with us. So you know how to do the expanding out tools, you know how to take it further. It's time to use them for the greater good. Okay. Now, you had a second question. May as well just get yours all done and out of the way, and then I'll jump back to Alex. Hi, Shwana. Hope you're still there. Okay. Second question. Filed a report. Will the police find the cherub angel with the heart from my mum's grave? Reported it stolen. Oh, gosh. Are they after some bad juju or what? That's never, ever a good idea to grave robber. To rob graves. Like, What on earth? That is some silly young scoundrels, I have to say. Oh, Alex. So Alex just said that she was rather obedient because her dad was strict. And her daughter only has her, and she knows how to be spoiled. Don't get me wrong, she does do her chores, but sometimes, just sometimes, I want to strangle her. I think you'd be hard pressed to find any parent with a teenager that would feel like that. Seriously. Let's take this one out for a roll. Oh, oh, come here. All right. I wonder what that is. Cool. All right. Whew. Yeah, that's the stone we needed. Any of them would have worked apparently, but this one. Okay. Now show me a no. Thank you. So truth. Will the police find the cherub angel and with the heart from Christine's mum's grave? Hello? Different question required. It was like, So truth. Will the cherub angel with the heart from Christine's mum's grave turn up somewhere? Yes. Truth. Is the cherub angel with the heart still in the graveyard? No. Truth. Is the cherub angel with the heart close by to the graveyard? It's less of a no. Okay, so truth. Has somebody left it? Okay, I'm going to change that. Truth. Is the cherub angel with the heart outside? Okay. Truth, is it within a kilometre of the cemetery? I'm trying to find the right word. Truth, is it within 2 kilometres of the cemetery? Truth, is it within a mile of the cemetery? Truth, is it within a mile and a half of the cemetery? Truth, is it within 2 miles of the cemetery? Okay. So it is somewhere outside. It's within about 2-ish miles of the cemetery. The police finding it, it's a bit, maybe not. It's good that they're aware of it, but it's maybe not. So let us ask one final question. So, truth, will the cherub angel with the harp be returned to Christine's mum's grave? Yes. Truth, will Christine find it? Yeah. Truth, Christine's mum, are you trying to teach Christine to use her intuition? That's a yes. So, you know how that fun little thing of everything happens for a reason? Your mum is trying really hard to get you to use your intuition. And so she's created this moment with something that you know is really important and sort of got your attention so that you can start tapping in and using your awareness and actually knowing what is true for you and what is not true for you. So that you can then be empowered to make confident choices for yourself without necessarily reaching out all the time to other people to ask for their awarenesses. Because your awareness of what's true for you is always going to be correct for you. Okay? So in the neighborhood across the street, if that's within 2 miles, probably. So it was because obviously I realized that you guys talk in miles and rather than kilometers. So the kilometers question was a little bit ambiguous because you guys, like your mum knows where it is. So what I would suggest to you is before you go to sleep, talk to your mum, or when you're in meditation, bring your mum in and connect with her and ask her to show you where the statue is. Ask her to show you loud and clear so that you can really, truly see it. You might even get a map, like a physical map, and run your hand over it like you're scrying and see which area feels the lightest. So truth, where is the statue? Show me. And allow her to show you with your hand which parts. Don't move too quick. But it's like for any of us who have gone gemstone shopping, for example, and or even this one. I have lots of rose quartz around me. If you're ever in a crystal and gem shop and you want to go and pick up a particular type of stone or a gem, and you do the tool where you're expanding out, that's where the expanding out tool is so freaking useful. That's why I do it every single bloody week. And you do that, and you gently, very slowly, move your hand across the racks and racks and racks of stones, and you see which ones sort of have a bit more sparkle, which ones have a bit more energy to them, which ones have a little bit more hum or a buzz or a whatever, a warmth, whatever is pulling you in. And that's going to be the stone for you. Use those same principles now. Because that statue means so much to you, and in addition to your mum, allow her also to guide you, to show you exactly where it is. What my sense is that it might be near some kind of garbage can or one of those big square with the lifty lid industrial type garbage cans. It's not in it. I don't get a sense that they've actually put it in the garbage can, but it's near something like that, maybe in a back alley or something. I don't know. But that's not necessarily one of my big skills, but this is not my journey to take either. This is you and your mum, and your mum is trying to guide you to enhance your intuition skills. Okay? So, go have fun with that. With any luck, you'll find it really quickly and easily, and it'll be beautiful and it'll be returned back. Because I do get a sense it will come back. But it's got to be you that finds it. So thank you for your beautiful contributions to Find You Fridays, Christine. I'm so grateful for you popping in each week and having these cool little questions that give us a chance to talk about things in a really different way. I really do appreciate that. And I'm so grateful to you because, Find You Fridays wouldn't be the same without you. Thank you. Appreciate it. All righty, Miss Alex. Miss Alex, what is your question, my love? Okay, who wants to come and play with Alex? Ooh, Alex. Deary me. I do love the delay that happens. It's like waiting. What is Alex's question? Yeah, one of the most awesome things was teaching newbies how to use their body like a pendulum. So that was really, really cool being able to teach that. What is Dad? Joanne's, Richard, and Jean-Pierre's mum, Darlene, wants to tell me about him and I. Huh? That's a very confusing question. Maybe it's my eyeballs in my brain at this time of night. It's not that late. It's only 10 to 10. Okay. Pants Richard and John PM, Mum. Darling, want to tell me about him and I. I'm still confused. Colour me confused. Oh, okay. Interesting. I think perhaps the more pertinent question is, why are you not allowing them to speak to you? Are you afraid that they will tell you things that you don't want to hear? Because that does happen. I have had it's okay, darling. I've had many a moment in my life where I don't wish to be brutally honest with myself, let alone let anybody or anything else tell me what I required to hear. And the funny thing is that when we have when we allow ourselves those moments to just be vulnerable, there's great potency in that. So if they're trying to come through to tell you something, then there's definitely something there to be paying attention to. So that makes sense as to why the Heal Yourself Oracle came through. So let us see. And thank you for trusting me to bring this message through, because sometimes it is easier to hear it from someone else. And I get that. I remember one of the first psychic fairs I went to. It was one of the big ones here in Adelaide, Mind Body Psychic. And I ended up wandering around for most of the day, just sort of feeling into which readers I thought were a good fit for me. And I bought a few things here and there, but I didn't have a lot of money at that stage. So the money that I spent was very carefully considered. And the lady I had a reading with, she said to me, this is probably going back, 2014. So this would be about 12 years ago now, and maybe even 13 years. And she said to me, why are you sitting on that side of the table, Lorene? And I was like, because I'm getting a reading. And she said, no, you don't need me to give you a reading. You can do your own readings. In fact, you should be where I'm sitting right now, and you'd be very good at it. And I was like, whatever. At the time. This, like I said, this is going back, probably 13 years ago now. And it's probably not long after I moved here, actually. I think, yeah, it would be about 13 years ago. So it's like, and now here I am. Why did I have to tell you that? Because sometimes it's easier to hear those messages from somebody who is relatively a stranger. I didn't necessarily believe in myself at that time. I didn't believe I could do any of the stuff that I do now. if she had, like, I couldn't even believe that I could do oracle card readings, let alone read tarot, let alone do body work processes, let alone do past life regression stuff, or have a diploma in holistic counseling or theta healing or all access consciousness stuff that I do. I had no idea. And if she had told me that I could do all of those other things as well as oracle card readings, I would have told her she's bloody batshit crazy. She only told me this teeny tiny little bit, and I was already going, whatever. So don't be surprised if this little reading that comes out for you, my dear, is a little bit of like a slap in the face, because it is the Heal Yourself Oracle from Inner Segal, which tends to be the butt kick one. So this is what your So I actually like to, but I get odd messages, so I'm confused. Okay. So this is what they are trying to tell you about this relationship between you and Jean-Pierre. Interesting. So as I mentioned, these are the butt kick ones. So just warning you. Okay, there might be some stuff in here. That's amazing. It took me many, many years to embrace my being a reader and a healer, and this year I've embraced that and my journey of tarot and coaching. That's fantastic. I'm so happy for you. We require lots of that out in the world, definitely. And yet we can still be blind to our own shit. Because we're awesome. All right, so the first card that you've got is entrapment. So as we know with these cards, I generally read it out of the book. Hi, Erin. I'm doing really well. I hope you're doing well too. Entrapment. You are letting too many things in your environment control your life. You have drawn this card because it is time for a shift in personal power. You are encouraged to take responsibility for your life and choose new ways of thinking that create change. The reality is that for you to make the changes that you require and desire, you require a system, a daily discipline, and motivation. As long as you blame outside influences for any circumstances in your life, you are powerless. It's the government, your abusive background, the interest rates, it's the bank's fault. The system that many ultra-successful people use is they read books every day, listen to audios, go to as many seminars as they can, practice recognizing others' achievements, and form relationships with like-minded people. So your action for this particular deck is ask yourself, are the people in my life building me up and inspiring me? If not, it's time to take charge and start making a change in your environment. Your first step could be cutting out all the negative media from your daily life. Another important action could involve changing your diet, cutting out sugar, food with MSG and GMO, and replacing them with fresh organic vegetables. Take a moment to say the following statement to yourself or out loud. I am in control of my life. Nothing can affect me unless I choose to let it. My thoughts create my reality. And keep repeating this statement until you feel stronger. Eventually, you will believe it. It will help you to make new choices. Remember, your words and self-talk are very powerful in altering your physiology. Okay, so I can't remember if you have this deck or not, but if you do, the first one is number 34. Whole foods, organic foods. Vegetables is what she said. For me, though, I'm carnivore mostly. So it's like just making sure you keep the junk food to a minimum. So the first thing that is there is like, it's talking about entrapment, right? So you're sort of letting that relationship, they're sort of saying, hey, you're kind of letting the relationship control who you are right now. And that's not okay. They're not very happy about that. The next card that we've got is selling out. So she's an interesting one. So this is number 1. Your integrity and inner strength are being severely tested. You have an opportunity to act with either fear or love. Where in your life are you selling out or acting out of integrity? Are you in a job you hate? Are you living in a toxic environment and making yourself sick in the pursuit of financial security? This card asks you to find the courage to stand up for your convictions and take steps towards doing what you love. Selling out is linked to the shadow aspect of the prostitute archetype. When you connect to this archetype, you can examine your fears around survival, power, responsibility, and success. On the light side, the prostitute can lead you to freedom, self-expression, choice, and love. So what I'm getting with this one, with the selling out, is there is something so much greater for you that you are kind of not allowing yourself to perceive because you've wrapped yourself up in a fantasy. That's what I'm getting with that one so far. Now let's have a look at number 28. And the fantasy can come in many different ways. I was watching a little video today where it was like old cartoons were really creepy. And it was a cartoon where it was this little, like a gingerbread dude, and he had like a sugar plum kind of lady, and he basically gave her a full-on makeover. And he used all sorts of things. He used, like the cupcake wrapper as a dress base, and then he used the icing sugar, like the icing to go around her and build up her dress, and he got some marzipan and shaped it to make her a new hairdo, and patted icing sugar on her face to make her look like she had all this makeup and stuff on. And as I was watching this, and I was looking at that going, interesting, because I kind of grew up with stuff like that. And it made me think, how many times in my life have I been in that space of feeling like the drab female on the block, just waiting for a lovely man to come along. They call it a little bit the Cinderella effect or Cinderella syndrome, waiting for a lovely man to come along and doll me up like good old, and Pretty Woman, which was literally a prostitute, by the way, to have that moment where you get all dolled up by this beautiful man and then you live happily ever after. So it's unrealistic. And you're constantly waiting for something that's never going to happen. So you said, I started to hate the type of events I was doing and recently recalled something back in 2019 where I was sent a message to switch the type of events. I had the same message 3 months ago and now started to build that new event path. Still events because I love it, but just different kinds. Amanda, yeah, I remember that cartoon and remember wishing for a gingerbread man knocking on my door. Exactly, right? It's where somebody else is just going to swoop in and make everything okay. And it's like, it's so unrealistic. You've got to make that stuff okay for you as well, from the inside. So let's have a look at this next card. Now that we've just talked about Cinderella syndrome, we're looking at the love card. Let go of your limiting beliefs about love. Your heart desires more connections, love, and nourishment. You are at a point in your life where you require to learn how to truly give and receive love. Fully opening your heart will awaken your vulnerability, sensitivity, and fear, in particular, your fear of rejection and intimacy with another person. Oh, okay. However, you will also unleash your passion, inspiration, greatness, and ability to care deeply. Start seeing how great life is and be willing to connect to others. If you've been holding on to past pain, then it is time to acknowledge, feel, and move forward. Give yourself permission to let people in. Ask for love with all your heart and soul, and it will come. Look for something beautiful in every person you encounter. Focus on feeling good whenever you see people loving each other, and know that this is coming to you in a form of a love of a lifetime or an incredible friendship. Notice this is all about future. This is coming to you. It's not coming back to you. It's coming to you. Okay. Whew, that was number 28. We've got number 12 as the next one. So number 28 was very much around looking at, like, telling you, hey, this being, this person that is coming into your life is so much better than what you've had before. You've got to do a little bit more growth, a little bit more adjustment, but what you've got coming is going to be so much better. And that's not to disregard the loves that you've had before. This is more about, okay, how can we make, like, just take those yummiest parts and go, and you've learned from the negative, the bad and the ugly bits. Learn from those. Don't try and pretend that they didn't exist. All right. So I'll give you an example. And a previous partner that I had was, to many people, the showman. He was the person who was so kind and was there, and he listened, and he was just so attentive. And when it came to being with me, though, he reverted to being a little boy, and he wanted me to be his mum. And I was so over that. I wanted my gingerbread man. But I joke. But no, I actually just wished for somebody to be my equal. And instead I got a little boy, a boy man. And I was so disappointed. I was so upset with myself that I would do that. And I tried for 4.5 years with that person. And it was still like, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And yet to other people on the outside, they thought everything was fine. Everything was rosy. But it wasn't. So be honest with yourself about the negative aspects of that person. Grow from those, learn and grow and heal, and you'll be okay. Cool. So you wouldn't believe this. Last moon, I did a 7-day cleanse. That's about the same what I've asked to release pain, sadness, and resentment. You're going to love the next 2 cards then. Victim consciousness. Stop blaming others and take responsibility for what you are creating. It's easy to think that life is unfair and point the finger at others. If you hear yourself saying, life is unfair, bad things always happen to me, I'm not good enough, nobody cares about me, why me? I can't do what I want to do, and so on, then you are losing your power, nourishing your victim aspect, and ascertaining your place in the victim club. Your inner victim can stop you from moving forward by creating dramas, making you judge others, telling you that you don't deserve better, and keep you stuck in a financial rut. You're required to build your internal confidence, self-worth, and courage. Get out of your comfort zone and work on expanding and growing in all areas of your life. The light side of the victim archetype is the victorious part, which can help you to hold your power without getting angry and attacking others. It can also assist you to create healthy boundaries and act from a place of honesty, integrity, compassion, and love. So, Amanda used to hang out in the victim club. I think I have from time to time, but it's been very short memberships, thank God. One of the things that I'll say about that particular club is with that relationship that I was telling you about. Now, in the job I'm in now as a team leader, I am very much all those aspects of what it was saying at the end, the honesty, the integrity, the compassion, and the love. It's like those are my very specific points of difference from my managers, in that I will just, it's not that they're not honest, but I am way more honest. I am brutally honest sometimes with them. And even with the owner, I will be like maybe not brutally honest, but very much more honest than, having to pick my words carefully or anything like that, trying to sugarcoat things or cotton ball things so that they're really, really soft and gentle. It's like, no, that didn't work. Rather than trying to sort of skirt around it going, well, I'm sure. And I know that I used to do a lot of cotton balling when I was, in my 20s, particularly in my early 20s, because I didn't want to offend anybody. And now I'm just like, if you don't like it and you don't like the fact that I like to have very open lines of communication and stuff, well, that's your problem, not mine. Sorry. Yeah. Welcome to the non-victim club. But please be aware, that's one of the things that your team is asking, the people that you're asking about. They are basically saying, look, stop blaming him. Take responsibility for you. Take responsibility for your growth, your development, and stop blaming others. Okay. And number 13. This is, don't know if you recall, but earlier I said that so often our teams will actually, in these readings, give us the pathway on how to move forward. All right. So this one is rejection. Use rejection to grow, expand, and build yourself. Feeling rejected can disconnect you from your heart, soul, and immobilize you. Rather than buying into rejection, focus on how you can grow, learn, and improve from your experiences. If you are a writer and you sent your articles or a book to a publisher and they have rejected it, then try to hone your writing skills and send your work out to several other publishers. Use that rejection as a motivating force to succeed. If a person that you have feelings for or felt deep love towards has rejected you, then work on healing your heart and recognize that there is someone out there who is more suited to you. I hope you heard that sentence. Many people use rejection as an excuse to close down, become suspicious, guarded, and give up. Then they hurt and reject others. They hide behind rejection and never give themselves an opportunity to take a leap of faith and find their life calling and heal. By picking this card, you are being urged to hold yourself in higher regard. Keep your heart open and trust that you have learned from your experiences and will not make the same mistakes again. So, beautiful. Like I said, they're giving you a very, very clear pathway forward. You just said, I was very angry a few months ago about his ex-girlfriend after me because of what she did, stalking, spellworks, etc. I did ask to let go of all that anger because I need my peace again, but I am slow, but I am taking steps. Yeah. There's a beautiful process that I do in my online healing sessions, or in person, whichever. I don't do it in this space because it's not appropriate. But it's very strong. It's very potent, and it's a wonderful process for letting stuff go, letting relationships go. It's a multi-layered process, and there's a lot of steps to it, which is another reason why I don't do it here. And it is just lovely. It's really super effective for doing that. But you've got obviously plenty of skills yourself. Just keep using those tools. Do what makes you feel light, what you feel drawn to. And it sounds like your projects that you're working on now, the different types of events, is definitely far better, like more exciting for you. There's more of a spark with them. When you were talking about it, I can feel it off of the screen. It's pretty cool. Their last little message for you is that they wish to remind you that you are sacred. You are special. You are precious. And they're asking for you to hear that, know that, see that, feel that. And in those moments where you're sort of caught up in the stuff around that ex of yours, they're asking for you to come back and go, hang on. If I was truly treating my heart, my mind, my body, and my being as the sacred vessel that it actually is, would I be talking to myself this way? Would I be beating up on myself this way? Probably not. And it's one of those things of when we're in the slump, it's hard. It is hard. But one of the things I'm going to say to you right now is, if you were talking, if you heard the way you talk to yourself and the way that you allow yourself to be hurt continuously with your thoughts around this person, around your ex, if you saw your best friend doing that to herself or himself, would you stand for that? Or would you wrap them up in a big, huge hug and tell them how much you value them and how much you love them and how much they are loved, and that ex, if they can't see that, well, that's their own stinking fault. They're not worth it. They're not worthy of you. And even though sometimes it's a family member or something like that is coming through, like I think you said that there's someone on his side that is sort of trying to tell you a message, they're not blind to see what their family member is like and has been with you. This message is very clear. They're basically saying you are worth way more than him. Go be your beautiful, sparkly self. Go be amazing. And learn the lessons. This is a beautiful growth moment for you. Yeah. I know. So for those of you who are watching on YouTube, Alex has said, I didn't feel that way for years, not because of her ex, but this year really hit her badly. She was a different woman before COVID and lost all of her savings, closed her office spaces, etc. She lost all confidence for many years and she became a recluse. Yeah. Your story, unfortunately, is not a unique one. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that that happened and that your journey took you that way. But you're still here. You still survived all of that. And you're still continuing to grow and thrive and be amazing and do the things that you require to do every single freaking day, even if that means just getting out of fucking bed and caring for your daughter and doing the things that you've got to do. Like, that's just bloody amazing. It's one of those lovely things of, like, they go, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's a shitty thing. It's a shitty saying. But at the same time, it's very true. I too have been through some very big lows over my years. Contemplated going sideways twice. And it's like, it's something that does sit back there sometimes. Not so much now. I'm very much in a happy place now. But in those moments where I have considered it, at the end of the day, I have had beautiful moments from my spirit team to go, not yet, Lorene, not yet. And gosh, I'm grateful for that. I'm so grateful they stepped in. Actually, it's been 3 times. Oops. There's been 3 times in my life, 3 times the charm. Twice in New Zealand and once here. I was just reminded, my team just happily reminded me of a time when I was considering driving off the side of a cliff. Lovely. Just because I was numb at that time. Very numb, very disconnected from myself. And I had lost everything. I lost my husband, I lost my home, I lost my cat, I lost my income. He took everything. And I didn't feel like all I had was a whole bunch of debt and a car. It was all I had, as far as that relationship goes. But, or rather, that was how I felt at the time. And thanks to my team stepping in going, what are you doing, you bloody idiot? Turn the corner. And it was like, okay. So I turned the corner. There was definitely a moment. It was a moment. But I learned a lot. And that was around that time, that was the moment that I actually decided. I made the demand and the decision to be happy. I didn't know what that looked like at that time. I couldn't feel happy. I didn't. It was such a foreign concept for me that I was like, I'm not going to be a bitter and spiteful old woman. I was like 27 at the time, and I made that demand. I was definitely not going to be that. I was not going to be a bitter, spiteful old lady. And I made that demand to be happy. And it took time. I had to do a hell of a lot of healing. I had to release so much trauma from my system. Oh my fucking God. It was heavy stuff. But it's okay. Because now I'm here. Now I'm with all you guys. And it's great stuff. So Alex said I needed to hear this. I know his mum has tried saying to me that I need to love myself more. I did get a message from her that she knows I can take care of her son and love him unconditionally because he's always having to stand up for himself. But I need to take care of myself first. I needed someone to confirm what I got. Thank you for this. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, Alex. I appreciate you feeling courageous enough to ask me. It's a very great honor. So thank you for your very kind donation. Thank you for allowing me a little peep into your world. I appreciate it. And Find You Fridays appreciates it. And I love these moments where we can talk about the chunky stuff, the uncomfortable stuff, the things that sort of make you go, oh, and if I was to go back, 10 years ago, or even back to that moment where the psychic is saying, you should be the one on this side doing all the readings, I never ever would have dreamed that I would be here now sharing my journey and potentially inspiring other people to do even more amazing things with their journey just because I'm willing to be open and honest and vulnerable. I'm just being me at the end of the day. And it's cool. I love that I get to do this. It is really hard for me to consider not doing a Find You Fridays. Very difficult. It's like with a really massive heavy heart, because it's like I feel like this is my moment to reach, even if it's only a few of you. I don't require hundreds and hundreds of people and viewers. It's fantastic if it happens, like thousands of viewers, like wow, that would be incredible. But I love the intimacy of what we have here. It's so cool. Finally found that pussy book. Excellent! This week I couldn't find one that will deliver here, and just before I got on, I found one. Yes! Congratulations! Oh, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. All right. Now, thank you again. Thank you, Alex. I'm so appreciative of you. Amanda, you've been waiting and waiting. I appreciate you for waiting for so long. What is your question, my dear? And just while we are waiting for Amanda to pop in with her question, I think I would like to remind you all that I do these. I love that healing room. It was so good. Just after a general message from my team tonight, because I can't think of a question. That's totally cool. Let's see. What does your team wish to play with? Oh, cool. I love how your question mark came out as a nice big red question mark. That's pretty cool, Amanda. Just checking in to see if this, maybe you need to do some stretches. I feel like all of a sudden, oh God, no, that's a scammer, love. I don't generally request anybody. So I wonder which scammer it is, because I've had a couple of people popping up there on YouTubies asking stuff, and I haven't answered them. So yeah, just block them. Report it and block it. Thanks, Alex. So yes, Amanda, first things first, you've got to do some stretches, love. I'm getting a lot of tension through your right hand side, down like your ribs. What major organs under there? I can't think. My brain has stopped working. It's a good thing, actually. You know, I haven't got my mannequin in here, so I can't check it. Okay. Okay, so your liver is sore. Yeah. So I thought it was the liver, but I just had to double check. So your liver is a bit sore. So you've got to do some stuff. So it's the liver. Oh, you got to drink more water. And start moving around a bit more. Okay. Hi, Sandra. So lovely to see you. Haven't seen you here for ages. Using my awareness, peeps. Sorry. That was a genuine just yawn. This little Kiwi's getting tired. Ah, Paul! Yay! Good morning. Wow, 10 inches of snow. Holy moly, that's awesome. Not so awesome if you got to drive through it, but awesome. Oh dear. So Sandra, if you hang about, I'll do the poetry thing. I didn't do it. I don't think I did it last week, but if you hang around, I'll do the poetry thing shortly. So then we can move through to our, what do you call it? Meditation. So just 2 seconds. Just going to do Amanda's reading first. All right. 10 inches of snow, Paul, that's incredible. I back in 2009 Christmas, 2010 New Year's, I made a demand to go and have a white Christmas, and then I created that and manifested it, actualized it in 2009, and I got to wake up to something similar, and it was so amazing to see 10 inches of snow just sitting on top of like the patio furniture and stuff. But one of the things that made me the most like, oh, around that was actually the icicles that form off the gutters. Being down here in, down under, even though I have grown up in New Zealand and I'm familiar with snow, where I lived, we got a lot of frost and fog. It was, even though it was at the base of the mountains, but because we lived in a deep valley, the snow would like pass right over us. It wouldn't actually get down to us because it was heat trapped down the bottom of the valley. So we used to get the frost and the fog, but we'd never really get snow. We might get the occasional like little sprinkles, and it would just go to nothing. But when I got to go to Nevada for Christmas, and I got to see this pack of snow sitting on top of stuff, and then I got to see these icicles growing off of the gutters, I was like, oh my God, it's true. It's not just movie magic. They actually have snow, and they have icicles that go off of the, wow. And they were long, really, really long. And I was just like, whoa. And then I was so lucky that the person that was my host, she took me around all over the place. And some of the most beautiful things I saw was actually like these teeny tiny little kind of look like maple leaves. So they must have been maple leaves. And they were all just sitting on top of this fresh powder snow. And obviously the wind had come through and just blown off the last of them. And it was just so pretty. So pretty. Yeah. On my way to New York City, seeing Wicked on Broadway. Wow. With your two sisters, first time seeing Broadway. Fun. When I went to New York, I went and saw Phantom of the Opera. Very happy to see Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. That was really neat. Yeah. Looks like you're up for a fun time. I'm so glad you popped in, Paul. Thank you. Right. Back to Amanda's reading now. Oh, interesting. This is actually upside down. Amanda, this upside down card, which is going to be the right way up card, is relieve anxiety. And the fact that it was upside down tells me that anxiety is now being relieved, and which you already know. But it's now time to like just really lean into that and start looking forward into what's next, which I know you're doing. But this is what your cards are sending out. Along with that, they're asking you to ground yourself. Okay, you've got a lot of shifts and changes happening right now. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on, and a lot of stuff that you're going to be going into. And in those moments where you're feeling like everything is kind of getting on top of you and that anxiety is cropping up, that's the time when you've got to really dive down into Mother Earth and up into Father Sky and expand out, but really center yourself, come back to you, connect in with you, bring all those parts and pieces of you back in together, and try not to disconnect from yourself. Okay? Disconnecting from yourself has been one of your old pathways, and that's not appropriate anymore. Now it's like, okay, I can be that calm place in the storm. I don't have to be moved and swished around by it, okay? I love snow for Christmas. I love snow for Christmas too. Alex saw Wicked at Marina Bay Sands. It was awesome. Cool. I think that was our choices. We were either going to do Wicked or we were going to do Phantom of the Opera, and I chose Phantom of the Opera. So yeah. So yes, grounding yourself, please. This is a card not just for right now. I'm hearing this is going to be really important for you over the next 3 months with all the big things that are happening between the house sale, now that that's happened and will be going unconditional, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, you're going to have to keep yourself really super grounded, and especially once you get out on the road. It's an intense thing to know that this is it. All right. The next card that we've got for you is, and I'm finding this a curious card that's come out, and it is examine your integrity. So just in doing that, I'm asking your team, what exactly do you mean? And they just told me, read the book. Okay. I love it. Okay. Interesting. So stand strong in your convictions. Your eye has been weakened, which means that you are vulnerable to other people's influence. Only you can decide through clear objective thinking and feelings what is best for you in this situation. Take the time you need to go within, look at the bigger picture, and ask yourself, what are the long-term consequences of this decision? You are being asked to examine your personal integrity and make a stand for something that aligns with your strongest ideals. The choices you make now will not only impact your life, but also your experience in the spiritual worlds and your future lives. Even though you may feel that you are giving up a fantastic opportunity, be aware that new, potent possibilities are opening up to you, and these possibilities will allow you to influence others in a truly positive manner, thus creating ripples of goodness out in the world. Right, so thank you. As I was reading that, I was hearing more of the message. So what they're saying there is, don't be thinking that this next little bit is going to be super smooth and easy. This is going to test you a lot. But, and I do mean but, if you stand strong with what you know the possible outcomes of this are, and don't get swept up in the negativity of your fears, you're going to be having so much greater impact beyond what you can even fathom. And I'm just wondering, maybe, I don't know how good your partner is with tech stuff, but have you considered maybe you should make your own YouTube channel? The two of you traveling away and traveling around Australia. That's going to be an amazing channel. And so many people, I'm sure, would actually be really keen to watch that. Something to consider. And that'll give you something creative to focus on too. Because that's the one thing that might be, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be super fun. And you guys are going to have a great time going from place to place. But I'm sure there's maybe going to be a point where you kind of go, now I'm a bit bored. We've done this now for 6 months, 8 months, 12 months. Now what can we do? But if you've got something creative to focus on as well, it's better than creating shit, is what I'm trying to say. Because the other thing is that when we get bored, we start creating problems. And the problems will come up. And because you're going to be in such a confined space with your partner, the problems will come up, you'll argue, and then you'll potentially blow it up on both of your guys' faces. So start thinking about things that you can do that will stop that from happening, or prevent it at least, to have some of that creative energy like just diverted in other directions. Okay. Because at the end of the day, your integrity, when it's saying examine your integrity is not about creating arguments with your loving partner. Like, that's not where you guys are at. But you will create that if you're not paying attention to where your energies are going. Okay. There is something online for family and friends to follow along. I bought some watercolor paints and I'm going to learn to paint. Fantastic. That's cool. And imagine being able to take that and turn it into videos and stuff. Have you guys got yourself set up with like a Starlink or anything like that for internet on the go? Like while you're out? I'm just thinking about YouTubers that I follow. The next card we've got is Show Self-Respect. So Show Self-Respect is card number 29. And it's time to get to know your inner self. Oh, cool. Yeah, you've got one. Self-respect requires you to listen to the cycles of your body and your inner voice, as well as discern what behavior, relationships, environment, food, beverage, work, etc. are healthy for you. Self-worth occurs when your world of thoughts and feelings is elevated into higher domains. That is when you start to know at the core of your being that you are a spirit or soul being supported by many angelic helpers. What can stop you from self-love and self-respect are the deep personal lies that you have developed in the early years of your childhood of being unwanted, not good enough, not lovable enough, not smart enough. This can plunge you into perpetual self-doubt and self-sabotage. It is time to identify what is working in your life and what is harming you. This self-reflection will allow you to turn confusion and uncertainty into profound self-knowledge. So with that, I'm getting that you've already done a hell of a lot of this. A hell of a lot. And this is just sort of like a general let you know that the work has not quite finished there yet. That it is a constant job, basically. So you're doing well. You're doing good, love. And just be on the look. Just be aware. Be aware of when that sort of stuff, that self-doubt might come up. There's a lot of collaborative energies around you and your adventures coming up. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where that goes with you guys, for sure. Because there's going to be some stories. The next card that you've got, and this is about you leaving. Okay. Minimize guilt. Take steps towards noble thoughts and feelings and actions. Whilst a little bit of guilt can be healthy in letting you know the difference between what is right and wrong, too much guilt can place you in a state of constant self-sabotage, self-harm, sickness, and egotistical "it's all about me" attitude. Guilt can either ask you to look at what you feel you have done wrong and create new possibilities of behaving, or encourage you to continue doing the very thing you feel guilty about. If left unchecked, guilt and shame can eat away at your body and manifest as heart disease, liver disease, asthma, migraines, weight gain, insomnia, and a host of other issues. This card asks you to elevate what you feel guilty about and make a decision to change. This may include taking responsibilities for your actions and humbly asking someone for forgiveness. Alternatively, you might work on exercising the power of your will to make a decision to stop doing something harmful. You are also encouraged to start taking guiltless time to work on your self-refinement. So, interesting. Yes. So something I would suggest to you is this is a beautiful time where you guys can actually create really healthy space for each other, even within the confines of what you're doing. So if you're planning on traveling and then just camping up for a day or two and then traveling again and camping up for a day or two, when you're traveling, you don't necessarily both have to be up the front. One of you can be at the back. And the cool thing about that is that if you're at the back, you can have some moments there to do your meditation. You can do some self-reflection. You can do a lot of spiritual healing. Even when you're out looking for places to go to, look for the ones that make you light up, that make your heart go. And then take some quiet time. Don't be in a rush. Okay? So often we feel guilty because we rush things. Or we feel rushed, so we feel guilty. It's all a bit of a head fuck, really. But at the end of the day, your team is saying to you, please don't feel guilty for the choices that you're making right now. You're doing a great job. You're doing something really bloody special. And it's exciting. And it's big. It's a big change in your world. And they're saying, look, just if there's anybody out there in your world who's making you feel stink for making these choices for yourself, give them the tube. Tell them where to jump. Tell them to take a long walk of short plank, because at the end of the day, it's your life. It's your and your partner's life. And this is what you guys have decided to do. You're choosing to do that. And it's like, if there's people out there that don't get it, and there will be people out there that don't get it, don't let that sit in your heart. That's their issues. That's their problems. I had plenty of people kind of question my decision of moving to Australia, to a state that I had no friends and no family. And, well, I had one person that I knew-ish here. That was it. That's bonkers. And I had so many people going, oh my God, are you going to be safe? Are you going to be okay? How do you know that that person is not just going to, sell you for sex work or something? I had all sorts of questions. And that's the thing. I just knew. I had to do this. And I know for you guys that you do too. And this is going to be an absolutely phenomenal, life-changing trip for you both. So do some prep around what you might need to take. And I know you've been doing a lot of that already. But the painting is fantastic. And also take some really good journaling stuff. That's what I'm hearing. Because you're going to be doing a bit of that. Sandra also feels like doing that sometimes. Yes. Just hop in the old caravan and go. I know my granddad wanted to. And above all else, remember understanding. If you're tired, he's probably tired. If you're cranky, he's quite possibly cranky. Just give each other a little bit of allowance and love each other even more. And also knowing, obviously, that disagreements happen and it's okay. And that was I think that was the other part that was coming out of this one, which is the examine your integrity card. and the show self-respect card is don't allow yourself to just bend because he's got a big voice. It's okay that you've got opinions and thoughts and feelings too. Okay. Thank you for your very kind donation, Amanda. I'm so excited for you, and I'm so thrilled that your house is sold and that you can now freely take these next steps. And it's like, yay, how exciting. And, you know, just to have, that's a big weight off of your mind. Massive, massive weight off your mind. So now you guys can really, really start planning. And how cool is it that you're going to be in KI for Christmas? That's pretty fucking cool. Pretty cool indeed. All right. Alrighty. Okay. We've got the gratitude poetry book. So for those of you who are new around here, before I answer that, Paul, I have been skiing. So like I said, I grew up near the base of mountains, and many a school trip up to the mountains. It was one of the things that was very common. So yep, I've been skiing, and I did enjoy it. I loved it a lot. So yeah. So I love the snow too. It's so fun. But of course, snow season for us in New Zealand is mid-year. So, you know, July, August, September through to October. We can get a bit of snow up there still. But yeah. Yes, it was cool. All right, beautifuls. So, for those of you who know how to do it, I'd like you to now expand out your awareness out beyond the universes. And now expanding out your allowance beyond that. Beautiful. And now I'd like you to ponder on what number is going to create the most for you for the next month. No. The next week. So till the end of November. What number is going to create the most for you from 1 to 88? And now you can pop that in the chat. Alrighty. It's only the first number. So. Interesting. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Paul. All right. Alex, it's only the first one. Don't anybody else take on Alex's little thingy WhatsApp. I'm only going to read number 4. All right. Grandmothers. Grandmothers are the role models for their children. They teach the children their knowledge and skills. They don't have to be the ones to discipline the children, but just have the job of giving lots of love. The things that they teach their grandchildren will stay with them always, from that little piece of advice to how to lick a plate in style. The wonderful thing about grandmothers is that they can be so different. One might stay at home and bake, while the other might be out running a marathon. but both love their grandchildren just as much. The love from one grandmother can never be compared. It is very unique and will remain that way forever. So, Alex, this is a message from your grandmother just to say, hey, I'm here and I'm listening and I'm loving you. And even if you didn't have a particularly good relationship with her, she has definitely passed down some skills, some attributes, some things from her end that is helping you today. So if you are pondering on your grandmother and find that she's sort of her mind, her name or her energy is floating around you, or you sort of, oh, that reminds me a bit of my grandmother. Yeah, that's her saying hi. Hi. Mm-hmm. So don't be surprised. All right. And the funny thing is about number 29 is the poem is called The Sanctuary. So also I got with that one just because you're really cheeky. It's okay to have quiet time. And your grandmother is absolutely giving you permission to do that too. Thank you very much. Christine, 57. See, we don't have Thanksgiving down here, but I find this funny because it's about as close to Thanksgiving as you'll get in my book. Christmas. Cherries on the cake, happy smiles on the faces, rosy cheeks from the wine and ice in the drinks, sunny beaches, time spent with family, many decorated trees, a lot of food, and silly season over till next year. So what I'm getting with this one, Christine, is please go. Spend time with your family. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome. And the next part is really funny because it's like, party like it's 1999, right? Because I literally wrote that in December 99. So just go and be calm, be open, forget about all the stuff. I want to live there. I don't like Thanksgiving. We have too many things that'll kill you. Oh dear. So yeah, enjoy your family. You've chosen them. You were born into you chose to be born to that family, and they wish for you to be around. So enjoy that. You don't have to be there for long. You don't have to stay for hours and hours and hours. As long as you are, and this is what was showing up in your reading before, was going will be good for your dad. And if you love your dad, that's all that's important. When my granddad was still alive, I used to go for him. I used to go to all the family things. I used to do all that stuff with him. Now that he's not there, I don't really go. It doesn't bother me if I don't go. But that's my awareness of what's true for me. Okay? When it is important, you'll know. Oh, 35. Where did that accent come from? Ooh. Oh, Paul. If I hadn't written this poem, I'd be blushing right now. It's called The Secret. With you, by you, I'm for you. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I want to feel you. Hands, lips, legs, wrapped in desire, blood coursing, heart pumping, sweat forming. Peace, laughter, and pain wrapped into one. Daylight comes, secret smiles, craved embraces and pre-planned rendezvous. Watching, waiting, and listening for footsteps. knowing they're not yours, but hoping anyway. So, Paul, is there a bit of a secret desire going on in your world that would be wonderful if it could be made into more, or maybe actualized? Perhaps not a desire, maybe it's not necessarily as 100% physical as this, but maybe it's just a desire that you've got that is like you're holding really, really close to your heart. And it's like a secret affair, you know, because if people actually really knew, what would they say? What would they think? You know, it's all that sort of stuff that comes. Could be the past. Sometimes we fantasize about things we've done in the past. That one was a simple lusty affair while I was searching for work as an architectural draftsman. Yes, it was. It was a lovely time. So yeah, what secret desires have you got sitting in your heart that gives you that amazing amount of turn on energy that like that kind of thing does? Because whatever that is, that's what you should be doing. What creations have you got that is just like, wow. Doesn't have to be a person. I get a sense that this is something that is like, there's a direction of your life that would be really amazing for you to go towards, that gives you a lot of brightness and a lot of light. Okay. So that's what I get with that one. But it's like, it's so out there for you that it's like, if people, it's almost like you're holding yourself back from really diving into it because you're too scared of what other people will think. Don't be scared. Just do it. Life's too fucking short. Okay. So Paul said he's going to his sister's house in, I don't know what SC means, for Thanksgiving. Should be fun. Yay. I'm glad you have a great relationship with your sisters. That's so cool. Yeah. And Sandra went for her mum. Family gatherings. They're always fraught with all sorts of fun. All right, Miss Catherine. 74. Interesting. Why do we fall? We fall for the wrong guy, the wrong job, wrong food, wrong drink, wrong clothes. We are looking for love, admiration, and acceptance. We fill the loneliness with distractions, people, lust, purchases, substances, when all we really want is uncompromised love. Catherine, I get the sense that this time of year and moving through more closely to Christmas, that things are going to get a bit tough for you. So what I would suggest is, instead of Christmas being a bah humbug moment for you, that you take that as being a special day for you. Kind of like a second birthday, but even better because you can do this your way. And you can make this, like Christmas and the lead up to Christmas, really exciting. And I come from a place of having gone through a couple of Christmases by myself. Because I'm a serial relationshipist, I haven't had that many like that many Christmases by myself. But the couple that I did do, I have to tell you, they were like my most favorite Christmases ever. Even better than snow. That was pretty bloody good. But what happened was that I got to, and I made sure I put my Christmas tree up. And those of you who know me know I love my Christmas tree. But I put my tree up, and I had very generously been gifted a few things from the clients that I was working with at that time. I had also made sure I'd gone out and bought something special for myself and wrapped that up and put it under the tree. And allowed myself to get my favorite food, my favorite drinks. At that time, I was still drinking a little bit of alcohol, so I had like my favorite types of alcohol. But you don't have to have alcohol, obviously, to make it special. Because if you're not a drinker, like I'm not a drinker now, so that wouldn't be on my list. But it was like, I just made the day so super special for me. I got up in the morning and I did some yoga, and I just made myself feel so nourished and nurtured and special. And then I very gently went through to have breakfast, and then I opened some presents, and I had myself really nice coffee. And, I did, everything was done very, very mindfully over the day. And I just had an absolutely beautiful day. And then I had an afternoon nap. And then it was just like, for me, that was super special to just spend the entire day nourishing and nurturing myself, because I couldn't go anywhere. Nothing was open. So I may as well make the most of it instead of feeling dull, down and depressed and like, oh my God, I'm not around family and nobody's going to care about me. And no, I didn't even think like that one little bit. And if somebody came and like popped up and said, Merry Christmas to you, I was so happy and grateful that they would think of me. I didn't think about all the people that didn't message me. And it was both of the Christmases that I had by myself, I did exactly the same, well, similar way. Made them super special days. I didn't treat them as like, ho-hum, it's just another day. No, it's not just another day. The whole world stops pretty much for Christmas Day. So it's a beautiful thing. Enjoy. Paul is off to work. Yay. Hope you have a great day, Paul, and have a great weekend. And Sandra, yes, it was. It was absolutely lovely. And it was beautiful. And I'm so grateful for it. So it's time to get excited about this time of year instead of feeling shitty about it. Okay? Amanda, 77. Let's go over. Okay. It makes me laugh because you actually only need the title. The rest of it is kind of irrelevant, but I'll read it anyway. But the most important thing for you is patience, my girl. Oh, dear. Oh, did I miss a comment? Alex, I've never met my mum's mum because she passed before I was around and I was 5 when my dad's mum passed. Ah, it's your dad's mum, by the way, Alex. Just to let you know about the whole grandmother thing. Patience, my girl. Okay. Your team is actually asking for this poem to be read slightly differently. So I'm going to have to do this on the fly. If it's supposed to be yours, then it will be. You have made the connection over distance already. It loves you with all its heart, soul, and body. It will do almost anything to be with you. So there's some things that have to be sorted out. You know, this year is all about patience. And this is another instance, another lesson. Breathe. Feel the love and the warmth because it is true. Trust it. Trust in yourself. Trust what has been said before is true. All right. So there we go, Amanda. Your adventure is awaiting for you. It is excited for you, and as also the country is waiting for you and reminding you to breathe. It's not going anywhere. It's excited to have you. Yeah, that was really cool. You're welcome, Catherine. Oh yeah, Alex, your team is very loud. Very clear, I should say. All righty. So that was cool. Thank you, Amanda. I don't think I've ever had to reread, not to that extent, rewrite on the fly like that. So that was fun. 69. Whew. All right. It seems, Miss Sandra, that you have been doing a lot of processing. This is a good thing. Finally, some words. I wished for a good life, and all I got was heartache. I had 7.5 years of purpose, and now I have none. All I wanted was to be happy. Maybe I wished too hard. Maybe it was all a foolish mistake. It's hard to admit that so much time was a mistake. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered what I had done. He needed me as much as I needed him. Perhaps I wasn't as complete as I first thought. And now I will be strong. I will face the world with my head held high and do what is right for me. So this is a poem from that moment I was talking about where I was saying how I nearly drove off a cliff. So it goes, after a couple of weeks of extreme shock and zero concentration, I was finally able to string some words together. The nightmares were horrendous during that time as my whole life structure had disappeared. So that's why I'm saying, Sandra, it's okay if you're struggling. It's okay to be in that healing phase. And that healing phase doesn't have to be a day, a week, or even a month. It can take years. And it's okay if you're feeling like the next layers are coming up to be healed and cleared. It's okay if you're in extreme grief or anything like that. There's a lot of energies that have come up this year. There's a lot of shifting and a lot of pressure that has come on all of us this year. And if you're only just starting to come out of it now, it's okay. That's good. That's good. You've done really well. You're still here to tell the tale. So it's all right. You're doing really well. And this is just one of those poems that's saying, keep going. It does get better. It truly, truly does get better. Let's see what else you chose. Just quickly. Yeah. The other one was a poem called Release. So it's time now to release all of that negative shit that's been in your mind. Let it all go. You've got the new moon coming up next week. So next weekend on the 1st of December is the next new moon. So please do some release work around that time, okay? My big hearts and big loves to you, my dear. Big hugs. Thank you for popping in. Wonderful work, especially at 11:18 p.m. Yes, I know. It's getting late. So I'm like, goodness gracious. All right. And finally, for Melinda, number 23. And I can't believe Melinda is still awake right now. That is crazy. Because you will have had a big day too. Oh, yeah, I've still got some tea. So, Melinda. Sweet love. You bring sunshine to my tears and laughter to my mouth. You are one of the few who will stay with my heart and memory for always. This one for you. This one for you, Melinda, is very much around smiling with the love that you have been surrounded with and having gratitude for that, and knowing that not all men are bad. There are some good ones out there, and that you have the ability to welcome them into your space too. That as you continue to shift and change and grow and be working in different and interacting with different people, you're going to have far more opportunity to cross paths with someone who is going to bring these yummy, squishy feelings to you. So not all is lost. Okay? You know that. So keep your eyes peeled. Keep them looking up, because you got this. All right. Thank you, Poetry Book. Appreciate you. Mwah. All righty. That is the Poetry Book for tonight. All right. So it's just, thank you, Sandra. My poetry is something that is, I never knew at the time that I was writing them what they would become. And it's such a great metaphor for so many conversations that we've had tonight about there is so many steps, so many things that we do that we have no idea what contribution they will be to ourselves or to others in the future. And so this is my lovely intuitive guided moment of saying to you all that you are important. Every amazing, beautiful, little, teeny, tiny moment that you take to nourish and nurture you, to step and do those things that make you feel uncomfortable and grow and shift and change and face your fears and do the healing work and interact with other interesting people and have those deep and meaningful conversations and go on grand adventures and do all these things in living your life. Being brave enough to do your organizing and decluttering and all that sort of thing. Every single one of those moments is important, and that is laying the pathways for others to do the same. And with way more ease than what we did. In so many ways, there have been an incredible number of pioneers before us that paved the ways for us to be able to do what we're doing right now. And that's a beautiful thing. And now we get to do the same for the next generations coming through. So the pathways for us have gone from being full-on bushy scrubland to having teeny tiny little tracks cut in the path many years ago, to being more like a worn rut in the road. And now we get the privilege of walking or being on a many lane highway. How cool is that? And from us doing it, we get to make it a multi-lane highway. So that then the billions can walk through, not just the hundreds or thousands. How lucky are we to live in this time? So Melinda has said that she works with a great bunch of fellas and have loads of male customers come through as well. Thank you for those beautiful words. I'm very grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm very, very grateful for you too, darling. All right, so now we're going to head into our meditation. So we've had a bit of this come up tonight around the thing that stuck out the most was the reading that we ended up talking about guilt. Okay, so tonight we're going to be removing the guilt from our heart. The guilt around making choices that other people don't understand or agree with, and the guilt that maybe we have stored in our hearts from other lifetimes, the guilt that we have from society at large for choosing things that make us light up and be happy, and that might not be the societal norms. So that is what we're going to target today. So it won't be too long a meditation because we're all tired. It's late and it's time for bed for me anyway. For those of you in the States, hi, welcome, and hope you're going to have a great day. So let me guide you through this meditation. So close your eyes, take a big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just letting your body relax, letting your shoulders relax. Take another big deep breath in and out. And this time as you breathe in, bring in Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. And as you breathe out, bring in Father Sky energy all the way down. Bring Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. Bring Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Beautiful. Now expanding out your awareness, and we're going to do this reasonably quick because most of you are here right now and know how to do this. So expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of your body in a big bubble up into the sky and down into the earth, expanding out your awareness greater than the country that you're on, greater than the planet, greater than the solar system, greater than the galaxies, and greater than the universes. If you wish to go further, you're more than welcome to do that. Now focusing on your body once more, grab your sense of allowance and you're going to expand that out into a big bubble. With you in the center, up into the sky, down into the earth. Remembering that your sense of allowance is your ability to perceive, know, be, and receive energy from no point of view, emotions, thoughts, feelings, and emotions from no point of view. So instead of being a tight, contracted little pebble at the bottom of a raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and feeling and being in victim consciousness, you can be in the space of potency and power and allowance. You can be like a big fluffy cloud just floating over, and you look down on that river and you see it for exactly what it is. It's just energy. And you can choose to either just float on by, or you can choose to play in that pool. It's up to you. But for now, we're just going to be that big old fluffy cloud. We're just going to float on by. So now you're going to expand out your allowance, out beyond the size of your body, up into the sky, down into the earth, expanding out your allowance, greater than the country that you're on, greater than the planet, greater than the solar system, expanding out your allowance, greater than the galaxies, greater than the universes, and now greater than your awareness. Beautiful. So now that you're nice and expanded out, I'd like you to now come back without contracting down. Focus on your body. And this time, what you're going to do is imagine that there is a scanner running down your body from the crown to your feet. And this scanner is going to be looking for all the little hidden spots where you are hiding grief. There might be some moments of grief that you're hiding in your brain. Maybe you're hiding them somewhere on your face, under your cheekbones perhaps, in your neck and your throat. And every time the little scanner identifies another area that you have grief stored, it's like it goes into a chart off to the side there, an acknowledgement chart of all those moments of grief. This might be sitting in your throat, your shoulders. They might be sitting in your heart. They might be sitting in your arms or your fingers. Might be sitting in your belly or down through your pelvis. Just identifying all those little spots of grief. It could be the odd one sitting in your thighs, your knees, your shins, your calves, your ankles, all the way down to your toes. And now that you've identified and had each of those little spots written up on a big old chart, I'd like you to now imagine that next to each of those parts that have been identified, you now have a magic highlighter in your hand or a paintbrush, whichever you prefer. And next to each one of those spots, those grief moments, those acknowledgements of your grief, I'd like you to draw a beautiful love heart. And as that love heart is drawn, You're saying the words, I love you and thank you. I forgive you. I forgive you. I love you. Thank you. Keep moving down the list, and as you draw your heart, say, I forgive you. I love you. Thank you. Keep moving down the list, and as that beautiful love heart is imprinted on the page or the screen or whatever it is that your list has been written on, it starts to disintegrate that line. And as each love heart gets to the beginning and the entire line has disappeared, it glows brightly. And as that love heart grows, it matches up with the spot on your body where that grief once was listed. And as that love heart transfers to your beautiful body, it brings with it the peace and the happiness and the calm that you require in your heart. And as that list keeps shrinking, those hearts fly off onto your beautiful body. Each little love heart, which has been imbued with the power and the potency of, I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. All the way down to your fingertips and your toes. And each one of those little love hearts is glowing so brightly that your whole body is now lit up with the love hearts that you created. The love hearts which had completely dissolved all of that grief. The love hearts that are now contributing to the spots where that grief once was. Allowing you to feel confident and whole and peaceful and happy. Give yourself now a big, big hug. Wrap your arms around you and allow your body to feel the love from you, physically, from your own arms and your own hands. Allow your body to know what it feels like to be touched with kindness and unconditional love and gentleness. And now as you slowly bring your arms down, allow them to rest wherever they feel comfy. Taking another big deep breath in, bring Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body, and just see how different your body responds to it this time. Feel the tingles of receiving all the way up through your body, through your legs, through your back, all the way up through to your crown. And as you breathe out, feeling that beautiful, strong, masculine Father Sky energy moving all the way down. Feel held and safe. Feel Mother Earth and your unconditional love all the way up. Now Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Beautiful. When you're ready, you can open your eyes now. As you move forward in your day, or if you are heading off to bed, please have a little bit of water before you go. And allow yourself some space and time. That's okay, Sandra. You did the work anyway. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being in your vulnerability with us. And even if you slipped through that, it's totally okay, because your subconscious mind took over and did the work for you. So well done. All right. So until I see you next week, please get out there, do something tasty for yourself, do something fun, do something nurturing, breathe, go out in nature, do some like cloud gazing or stargazing or whatever it is that makes you smile, makes you laugh, makes you have some fun. Until next week, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.